welcome back to episode 16, this time for real, of Aftermath. Where we left off last time, our band of brigands were doing drugs in a bar, but it was wizard drugs, and they summoned unicorns. And I wish I was exaggerating.
Notably not the monk nor the gunslinger. We both said fuck that and left.
That is correct. The monk and the gunslinger said fuck that, and they each took, the rest of them each took, I think, one of the small crystals that they had previously used to perform a ritual of some kind, giving themselves interesting new abilities that they may or may not know about. And they have taken them, smashed them, snorted them like cocaine, summoned unicorns, turned into potted plants, grown 4 inches, and summoned large tower shields. I think that was about it. At which point they decided to drink themselves into oblivion. And we wake up
Oh no, not again. Not again with the potted plants.
Yes, I think we wake ourselves
Was it petunia? Was it a petunia by any chance?
It wasn't a petunia, because then it would
Damn
be
it.
thinking, oh no, not again. In which case, so... oh my god, Sauriv, no, why? So, you wake up,
Yes.
groggy, tired, except for Wakili and Jack, who awaken in Jack's place. Wakili probably on the wall with his house.
Portable home. Portable home.
Portable home.
Portable hole, portable home.
Jack is not going to be here with us tonight. Unfortunately, he has exams coming up and needs to study for them, so we can't begrudge him that.
Best of luck to you, Jax.
Yeah, best of luck, buddy. But, so, just to speed things along a little bit, Jack says that he needs to sell his house, and so if you guys leave, he will catch up with you.
I wish him best of luck.
So, and he says that to Wakili, and I assume Wakili will go join the others? Yeah?
Wakili would join them in the morning. I guess that's where we can open.
Yeah, so, we will open with everyone slowly making their way down into the bar.
Wakili's already down there eating breakfast.
Sauriv without any nosebleeds this time.
How's the door?
Wakili, you may have noticed the breakfast was half the price it was previously.
Oh, I start eating and then I say, oh, I noticed the breakfast was a bit cheaper this morning. Is there a reason for that?
Well, of course there is. It's a Thursday.
Alright. That thing you people... Forgive me, when I was about to be rude. That reason you all say, I was curious about it. I guess now I get to see what you all mean by it.
Why, of course. It's the best town in the world. Especially on Thursdays.
Why exactly, especially on Thursdays?
Oh,
Well,
good morning, Mathias.
Morning.
well, that is because it's half price.
That it?
That's
Well,
it?
everything in the town, yes.
I just kind of pause for a moment and say, wait,
Yes.
everything?
Yes, everything.
Better not sell your house in the first place then,
I just
guess.
laugh at that and just like look over at Mathias and just start like, oh, you poor sod.
He calls it economic stimulation or something. I don't know. Devrock's got some weird shit in his head. But seems to be doing the town some good, so what can I say?
Oh, you poor sods.
So, and it didn't strike you that maybe you should have told us sooner?
Well,
Why would they tell
so?
you that if they're doing this whole economics thing? I imagine the point is to make more money, yes?
Well, it's not just that. It's to promote, what was it he always says? Growth and prosperity? Something like
Some
that.
more money.
Yeah, something like that.
Then why would they tell you that they're gonna have a discount one day when they can sell you at the item full priced on another day?
I know, right?
That javelin was so much money, Wakili. Do you know how much money that cost me?
Nope, because I didn't spend my money on it. Takes a sip of my cider.
Oof.
So much money.
Well, luckily these clothes weren't that expensive anyway.
Thankfully, I don't need to buy much.
Well, if you
At
do,
least it's not some big event my hangover can't deal with.
well, not yet. That
Mm.
comes at 1 o'clock.
Oh,
If you've still got a hangover by then, well, I respect the amount you drunk.
I'm gonna just nod and like just go okay with that one.
What event?
Oh, you'll see. He sort of smiles at you. Oh, you'll know about it when it happens.
Oh joy.
Mister, forgive me for saying this, but that sounds extremely ominous, creepy, and royally fucked up.
Well, it wouldn't be the best town in the world if it was. And it definitely is the best town in the world.
Will all my limbs
Yes.
stay attached to my torso?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, that I can deal with.
Unless you go cutting them
That's a-
off. Is there some plan for that?
Not
You guys are
currently.
into some weird shit.
I would sell you these amazing high quality drugs, but they'd be half price, so no.
He just looks over at the door, which is still missing. It has been sort of nailed over with a board, and sort of it's like on it, and the door that had been skewered by a unicorn is on, slanted slightly, bent in places, and it's just been nailed over. And he goes, "Yeah, I
Can I
think I'm okay for now."
can a minor illusion a very fancy door there?
Yeah, go for it. And he just gives you a very sour
Did you
look.
guys do that? I say, pointing to the door.
Who summoned the unicorn?
Oh, wait,
I think
what?
it was Sauriv.
Point at Sauriv.
Oh, good morning, Sauriv. You all are quite quiet coming down from the bedroom from people that have drunk apparently copious amounts of alcohol and ingested some strange substances into you all.
It was interesting, let's put it that way.
I think that sounds like an understatement, considering the fact we're talking about summoning unicorns. I say, just continuing to sip on my cider and munching on my breakfast.
Well, hey, look at it this way.
Whoops.
If you go buy a door today for 5 gold, you'll still have made a 5 gold profit.
I mean, that's true.
Ah,
Where did he get the 10 gold from?
Well,
Oh.
he made us pay it.
Well, I mean, you took my fucking door off.
We
You're
didn't
paying
take any-
damages.
didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't.
You summoned
Well,
a
the
unicorn,
The drugs summoned a unicorn.
and you were the
You
one
took
doing the
the
drugs.
You know, that's why me and Jack left, right? We saw you guys trying to shove strange crystals that we know very little about into your body through your nostrils. That doesn't tend to end very well.
Look, I thought you'd be into it.
Science.
It's a learning
Oh.
experience. Now we know they get you wicked high and summon unicorns sometimes.
I just like look at you concerned and say, I'm not one for impairing my body. It is my sanctuary, my weapon.
I don't know. I quite
Not
enjoyed it.
something I'd usually do, but
AKA, I'm a monk.
Uh-huh. Well, if you're quite done, I'll go get yourself some breakfast. And he wanders off
And-
into the back.
I mean, I was already eating my breakfast and drinking a cider.
Yeah, as the others come downstairs. Scandrick returns shortly with a couple of plates of breakfast that he'll set out for you. Which is
Oh,
included
hey
in
guys.
the price of rooms, of course.
Yeah.
So,
Jack's not gonna be joining us right away. He's got to, you know, his house, his place.
Yep.
He's putting it up on the market, and he thinks he's got a buyer, but it might take a while for him to get the paperwork done. So
Yeah,
he
he
better not
not
sell
call
it today,
back.
I guess.
it's...
he said he'll catch up to us. And to be honest, I don't doubt that.
if you really
Alright
think
then.
about it, it's going to stimulate the economy. It's just going to encourage only spending and saving on certain days of the... it's a stupid fucking... Who thought of that? So
Wait,
dumb.
The eccentric blacksmith, by the way, by the looks of it.
Yeah, but this...
wait a minute. Ooh.
What?
Does that mean I was ripped off?
Yes, Sauriv, it means we were
Yeah.
thoroughly ripped off. We could go get a refund, but we'd only get half a fucking refund. So,
I don't think he would give you a refund anyway.
refund him his fucking liver in a minute.
Well, did he have enchanted gear by any chance?
He had a lot of
He
enchanted
had
stuff.
quite a few enchanted trinkets.
I stand up and say, well, then I know where I'm going. I'll talk to you all later.
Oh,
Bye.
have fun.
All right.
Enjoy yourself, Wakili.
Well, would you like to come with me?
No, thank you.
I'd love to, but I don't have any money.
I think
I have some
Mathias wants
money,
to visit the
and
druid lady.
besides, I look at my
It's
bow and I look at
alright.
my sword. I don't think I'm going to be replacing these two weapons anytime soon. Now, if I can find some interesting scimitars, I say, drawing out the twin blades on my hip, that might be useful.
Right.
Alright, well you enjoy yourself, cause I ain't got no money to spend, so...
Well, I have some.
I-
You can come with me.
I'm alright, I'll just...
But you're a connoisseur when it comes to weapons, Sauriv.
I am
them?
indeed, but...
You know them far better than I do. I can use your assistance, your keen eye, when it comes to great blades and other weapons of instruments of stabbing, and slashing, and smashing.
It's probably
Right.
Ollie.
I'm just gonna tell you the truth, if
knowledge is good
if I go there, I'm afraid I'm gonna tear his spine out.
Okay, yes, please do not come with me then. Wow. I mean, wow. Okay then. Yeah, no. Wakili's just kind of honestly looking like, oh, okay, that
Just
seems a bit
not accepting
excessive.
that.
That seems a bit excessive, but okay.
He stole me friend's money, okay? Well, he made me borrow my friend's money, and then I gave it over to him.
Yes.
I mean, you didn't steal it. He gave you something of value back. It's
I mean,
just
yeah, but...
Today
what
it's
is
only
what I
half
had to
value.
pay. Exactly.
That's not a good return. You can't. There's no resale value on things if they depreciate by 50% of the original price in a day. That's not good business.
guys,
Who thought of this?
guys. I think you misunderstand something.
Doesn't make any sense, Keely.
It says only today. I imagine tomorrow all the items go back to normal price. I say, looking to the barkeep.
Yeah, of course they do.
But then why would anyone? I took drugs, like weird drugs, in this town once, and now everything is stupid. I don't understand what's happening.
Hey man, if you got a problem with it, go talk to Deverick.
I mean, it makes sense to me. It's a way to get people to come and visit the town and buy stuff from them.
Makes a lot of money.
I have a problem.
Wakili.
I don't have enough whiskey. Could I have some, please?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Do you have any money left, Sauriv?
I have enough for whiskey. That's about it.
Yep, he'll bring you some whiskey. A bottle of whiskey if you want it.
I mean,
Which is usually
I
1
still
silver,
have,
so
like-
it's
I
5
start
copper.
drinking a little.
I still
God.
have basically all my cash ever since we left Korea. I still have, I like lean in a bit and whisper to you guys. I still have 29 platinum on me.
You have what?
Yeah, I have a
You
bit
really
of
don't
cash.
get money.
Well, I mean, I've just been saving it. I say, shrugging. As you guys know, I don't have a lot of expenses. I live a rather modest lifestyle. Not to brag or anything. I just don't try to keep a lot of items.
I don't have much expenses either.
Look, here's what we need to do. We need to figure out where we want to go next. Because after this whole Thursday business is over, frankly, this place loses my interest. And I want to get out of here because this place just rubbed me the wrong way.
Very well, I guess. I'll
I'll only be spending the bare bloody minimum here.
Matthias,
Very
don't you mean
well, I
this
guess.
place rubbed you the wrong way?
Is he a
All of
genie in a
sudden,
bottle?
shit's half. All of a sudden, shit's half price.
Ye-
I could
yeah.
have gotten that armor for 60 gold.
Well, I guess there's no use crying over spilt milk. So,
What if that smooth was
Drink.
like worth 50% of the value it was yesterday? Don't- I
I'm
was
just
like,
gonna shove the bottle of whiskey in his face.
Achilles is kind of
well,
watching
pretty
on
much-
with this strange sort of sense of, why are you okay?
Pandal's like looking at his coin pouch, just crying slightly.
I imagine
Would
Sauriv
you like
baby
some of
feeding
my-
a whiskey bottle to
Pandal, would
Pandal.
you like some of my money?
No, I still have plenty of money. I just don't have as much as plenty as I had.
Do you want some of my money then? I don't.
I need a lot of platinum coins. Like 50 platinum coins. I've got 15, Wakili. I need more.
I reach into my pouch, pull out 10 platinum, and hand it to him.
I'm not
Here you
big
go.
platinum. I'm just saying that there's a lot I need to get. This has only set me back.
Well then, keep
does that
this. I
count
say,
towards
kind of
me debt?
pushing. I push the platinum into like your hands, like take it.
I'd really. Okay, I'll be fine, sure.
Come on, you have a good reason for needing to acquire a vast amount of wealth. I would simply just get fancier weapons.
I mean, you also should probably get like fancy weapons. They look pretty boring. You had like some
Well,
ribbons on them, maybe?
I mean, this sword was given to me by my master. I don't want to disrespect an item that she gave to me, and something that's been used to train me from my very beginning.
I mean, don't mean to speak out of turn, but does she like ribbons?
She tends to have her hair back in a ponytail, so I guess so.
I'm sure she won't mind some ribbons.
I was actually about to ask if maybe we could head back to Korea. I was hoping to look into my master and see if I could find her. It was quite some time before we left that I couldn't find her, and it's been quite some time now that I've been gone.
That's fair enough. Haven't seen my own house in a while.
Well, yeah, I don't mind. I'll go where the wind takes me. Which
I mean,
is
we could go
where you
visit
lot.
oh, never mind.
The temple?
Yeah, to have your library card revoked.
Oh, right. Wakili's expression sours a little bit at that.
I kinda look sad.
Either way, the past is behind us. So, I'm gonna go talk to this armorer, see if maybe I can find some better equipment. I'll be back in a bit.
Alright then.
Yeah, for 1 o'clock, I really want to see what happens.
So, you're heading out to the blacksmith then?
Yeah. I mean,
Alright.
now Wakili's like, well, maybe I can get something useful.
The now familiar route, which is involves taking the 5th door on your left and then making far more right turns than you should be able to
Has
before
Wakili even ever been to the blacksmith?
you... you had to go through that.
Has.
You had to go through that way to get to and from Jack's place.
Okay, cool, but I don't think he's stopped in there himself.
Not yet.
Well, now he is.
But yeah, as you make more right turns than you should have to, and where you would, it would logically make
I know
sense for
where
you
it
to come
is.
back
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the what's it called? Come back on yourself. You don't, and you end up inside this large cavern. The blacksmith is in the center. The small outdoor coals appear to be burning, but they're still not giving off any smoke. And as you walk up, there's a couple of guys outside working on things. The doors are open into the small hut, through which you can see quite a large collection of interesting looking items. There's a man in some rather fancy robes behind one of the desks in there, just working away at some of the books.
Hello there, I say, walking in.
Ah, hello there. What can I
Hi,
do for you?
I presume you're the blacksmith that Jack used to work with, and the one my friends encountered yesterday?
That I am. The name's Illifen. He stands up, holding a hand towards you. Who might you be?
Hi, my name is Wakili. I shake his hand.
Nice to meet you. Shakes your hand too.
My friends told me you had enchanted weaponry and other things of that nature. I was wondering if maybe I could have a look.
No, that I most certainly do. And he gestures to some of the racks across the room where there's swords that have faint mist, or even just what appear to be static flames licking up the side, or one of them appears to be dripping with some kind of poison that never leaves the blade. There's swords, there's javelins, there's all sorts of stuff out here. Is there anything in particular that I might find for you?
The first thing I could think of is maybe perhaps do you have a good longbow?
A longbow. We don't get many requests for such a large item around here. At least nothing that doesn't require swinging it so hard. Dwarves and all that, you see. He stands up and he
Yes.
walks over to one of the corners and sort of pulls back a curtain, behind which there's a cabinet. And as he opens it, there's a few different longbows in there. Is there any particular enchantment that you might be looking for?
At the moment, I'm just looking for a good idea.
Well, we've
What
a
would
longbow
do
of
you-
frost, we've a longbow of the sky, and we've a longbow of the... Oh no, then we sold that. Never mind. There's this one here still hasn't had its enchantment put on it.
Can you put enchantments on a piece of gear?
I can. It's doable. But
How
it's...
long would it take?
Well, to actually enchant a piece of gear, usually it can take up to a month. Not continually working. Were I not to stop, maybe... I don't know, I'd say a week. It's a very difficult skill. Editing enchantments, if you have anything, is... well, that's a little more doable.
No, I do not think my blades are enchanted, unfortunately. I say just looking over my swords. Looking over at my long sword on my back, and I'd prefer to keep this one with me.
I see.
Perhaps, do you have any scimitars, or that nature? That
Scimitars! Now, that I do. And he sort of closes up the cabinet and leads you over to... it's pretty much on the opposite side of the room. There's this rack of swords. There's these huge swords, like the one Sauriv carries. There's a number of them. Very, very similar in shape and size. Like strangely so. Almost as if they're copied, but ever so slightly tweaked from something. And there's a number of other swords that are like long swords, short swords, scimitars, that vary a lot more. And he sort of gestures at scimitars. Well, we've these ones. There's a few that just have the base enchantment. This one here, and he sort of reaches out and taps one. It's roughly in the middle. And this is my favourite one. It's got one of those enchantments you can play with a little bit on the fly. And these ones are a little bit more set in their ways, for fire and ice, if you will.
What's someone that you can play around with? I say, looking at it, kind of curiously.
Well, oh, you know how there are enchantments of fire, enchantments of ice, enchantments of acid, of poison. Well, it's basically all of those, but only one at a time.
I look kind of surprised up at him and say, "Oh, such an enchantment exists?"
It does. It might cost you quite a bit, though. They're difficult to make in the best of times.
But today is Thursday.
Unfortunately, Thursdays only apply to items where you wouldn't be making a loss.
A loss.
Right, it takes a significant amount of time to make one of these. Were we to sell it at half price, we would be losing money.
I nod my head at that. I'll tell my friends that. They were a bit upset about finding out that things were only half price today, but if I tell them that might make them feel a bit better.
Oh, I hope so. That would be terrible. If you're friends with that big fellow, finally
Yes,
took that wretched javelin off my hands.
Which, the dragon one?
Yes, that one. I got in an awful lot of trouble for that.
Okay. Sure. How much are you thinking for this one particular scimitar of yours?
This one, I'd say maybe 500 gold. It's quite the enchantment.
Yes. Unfortunately, that does not seem to be within my price range.
Unfortunately, that seems to be a common problem.
Yeah.
Dwarves are far more interested in hip flasks.
Yeah.
As he says that, he gestures over to a cabinet. It's one of those really fancy cabinets with the glass shelves, glass fronts on it, and it has a number of chains across it with big padlocks on it, and it's full from the top to bottom with hip flasks, varying in some of them glowing slightly as if enchanted, each in varying levels of size, of decorativeness, of what looks kind of like hardiness. It's quite impressive.
I don't know whether to be disappointed or impressed, I say, just kind of looking at it with a curious look.
Well, stereotypes exist for a reason. The dwarves around here really do love their ale. And this is a dwarven settlement, by nature.
Very well. Hmm. I look kind of at the weapons and say, forgive me, I'm just... it's been the first time in forever since I've gotten a new weapon. I've grown very emotionally attached to mine due to the fact these weapons were given to me by the person who trained me with the blade.
That I can definitely understand. A man's attachment to his weapon should be second only to his wife.
I am not married, unfortunately. But...
I don't think there's an unfortunately to that. He says that with sort of a sly grin.
I chuckle a bit. Well...
Well, what sort of price range are you looking for?
Well, I have 150 gold that I can easily lose.
150. Ooh. You're not a fan of javelins, are you?
No, sadly not.
Oh, that's a shame. Well...
I've been told great things about your javelin selection.
He just like gestures over at the wall, and it is everything from intricately carved gold, electrum and silver javelins to literally sticks with rocks tied to the end. We
Wow, they were not kidding. They say just like
stock
at
a
it.
wide range. 150 gold. I could let go one of these. He sort of taps the hilt with the fire one and the ice one that you mentioned. Or if you're talking longbows, I could either the sky longbow.
What does the sky longbow do?
Well, it's another one I got in trouble for, but it's particularly unfavourable to those that can fly,
Huh?
especially when
I
they
see.
are flying.
What does it do?
Well, it has a habit of stopping them flying.
My eyes kind of go like, oh. And I look at it and say, oh, that's... To be honest, I think I want that bow. That would be very useful for a problem that's been pestering us.
I'm going to not ask.
You might not, yes.
Well, I can let that go for 100 gold. Wouldn't be making a loss on that one. Just.
Very well.
So that's legal.
I can take care of that.
I don't suppose you're interested in any more interesting arrows to go with it. We do
You know
have
what?
a small selection.
I have some will to check.
Well, they're not particularly expensive, being arrows. Enchantments are quite basic, but we have everything from the odd explosion to something a little more intricate. We even have a few that might teleport you around.
Huh.
Honestly, the selection's quite wide. If you have anything in particular mind...
Yeah, that's gonna work out well, Rick. In case you can't see chat at the moment, he just typed gold arrows with diamond inlays, platinum arrowhead, and red velvet at fletchings.
I mean, he would sell you those if you asked for them.
I don't
Of
want
course
them
he
because
would.
they're gonna be expensive as hell.
And useless.
Oh, yeah, that too. If you have any particular, I suppose, let's have a look. And
yes.
he
Any
takes out the
you would
longbow.
recommend?
He'll take out the longbow, put it on the desk, and he reaches in and pulls out a false back to the sort of cabinet they're in and sort of slides it aside. It sort of chunks towards him and slides aside, and there's a selection of arrows behind it. And he pulls out 3 different arrows and sort of puts them down. Because we've got a few of these. This one I can give you for maybe a gold piece each. This one's quite simple. It'll do an additional bit of damage, though it's not always consistent and quite how it does that. Sometimes they burn, sometimes they're cold, and every now and then they melt things. And sometimes they're
Like
electrifying.
that one scimitar of yours.
Yes,
Only
it
I don't get
chooses.
to choose.
yes. It's a bit of a wild enchantment, but that makes it easier, and they tend to be quite effective. This one here, he points to another one, and this one has, the other one, it looks pretty much like a normal arrow, but the arrowhead itself has got that kind of oily sheen to it, just the sort of rainbow in the light. Although if you touch it, it just feels like metal. It sort of just feels like a well-made iron arrowhead, with a few very faint runes on it. The next one he points at has, it actually has a small blue crystal on the tip that's been sort of chipped down, kind of roughly. Similar to if you've ever seen like an obsidian arrow or an obsidian knife, how it's kind of roughly chipped, and then they never go more than that because you can't really polish it that well. Well, you can, but they don't. It kind of looks a bit like that, and it's got this bluish crystal that's giving off a very faint glow, and it appears to be, the arrowhead appears to be sort of wedged in between the two forks of the sort of metal thing that connects it to the arrow shaft. And the fletching on it appears to be a little bit bigger than you'd expect, at least a little longer, but not as not taller. This one, well, this one's quite an interesting one. There would maybe be 5 gold each, but we don't have very many. These
What
ones,
does it do?
they will teleport you to wherever it lands, and provided you don't break it, well, you can use it again.
I will take some of those happily, I say, upon hearing the whole, if you don't break them, they'll be allowed to use again.
Yes, they are enchanted to stop them breaking, so that's good, but it's always a chance, unfortunately,
Of course.
due to the crystalline nature. And this one over here, and he points at another one, it is a dark black arrow that is almost not reflecting any light, to the point where it kind of looks like a silhouette, like Vanta Black or something like that. It's very difficult to see. You can slightly see shades of grey as the light, but it does appear to be drawing in and just the light around it, and there's almost this shadow emanating from it. This kind of foreboding way, and it has a very faint little. It has a slit down the middle of the arrow tip, and on the inside is this little red, very faint glow that, as they put it down, you could see it like leave this slight trail behind it for a little bit. Somewhat similar to Sauriv's javelin. And this, well, this one is an arrow of dragon slaying. The draconic type are particularly unfavourable to these, but they're also going to be somewhat expensive as they're hard to make. These would be 15 gold each.
Well, so 4 teleporting ones would run me, how much gold? 20?
20 gold.
And, if I were to get the, a few, how many were the individual, wild card arrows?
Only a gold each.
So, 40 gold for 20 wild card arrows and 4 teleportation, and the bow. So that would be 180. Could we perhaps do 160?
I suppose we could.
Well then, I'll take that, if that's fine with you.
It's a pleasure doing business with you. He holds out a hand.
I shake it.
He shakes it. He will put the arrows away, grabs your arrows, grabs your bow, and yeah, for 160
Sorry.
gold, he'll give you those.
Did you buy any dragon slaying arrows?
No, they were...
No. Okay.
They're expensive.
But I do have the sky bow.
Yeah.
But yeah, the sky bow. So,
Yeah, I have everything else.
so Mac, note down that your bow, it's a what they call it, a bow of the winged, and that has the effect that it has a DC 15 Constitution saving throw, or it will stop the creature flying for 1 turn.
Huh.
Unless
Cool.
the creature has the hover effect, in which case it will drop it 15
Did you
feet.
put that underneath my normal longbow?
I haven't touched your character sheet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so go ahead and note that down. The
Alright.
wildcard arrows, they are +1 arrows that have a 1d4 effect. On a 1, they do lightning damage. On a 2, they do acid. On a 3, they do fire. And on a 4, they do cold. Additional, it's 1d6 additional damage with the 1d4s to see what that type is, and they also do regular arrow damage. And the teleportation arrows, it is basically a 1d4 when you use it, and on a 4, the arrow will break. Otherwise, you'll be able to use it again, and it counts as a +1 arrow for attacks.
Alright then. What were the types again?
It is on a 1, it is lightning. 2 is acid. 3 is cold, and 4 is fire. That
Cool.
may be different to what I just said, but it doesn't matter because they're the same 4 types.
Yep. Alright then. Well then I will take my items and I'll head back to the tavern.
Okay.
Oh, can I sell my old longbow to him by any chance?
Yeah, sure. He looks at it, looks it up and down. That's a fine piece. I can give you 20 gold for it.
I'll accept that.
He'll take 20 gold for it, and he takes it over, and he puts it in sort of a rack where you see with a couple of other weapons that some of them look newly crafted, some of them look sort of second-hand in the back, and above it, it just says, to be enchanted.
Please do let me know how that ends if I do come back. It's a very good weapon, and I hope that it will get into the hands of someone who likes it.
I will most certainly try.
And with that, I return back to the group. Hey guys, I say, walking in with noticeably funnier looking arrows and a different bow.
Would we still
Hello
be
there.
there?
Is everyone still there? What are you guys going to
so.
do whilst Mathias is, whilst Wakili is away?
My turn to be away.
Yeah, because at some point, I will go talk to Dragon Lady.
Okay.
Akane was
Wakili
going.
will be away
Probably
for,
before he comes back.
let's say, 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh no, I'm still having breakfast then.
Alright. Is anyone else going anywhere, or are you all going to be there?
Yeah, I'm still going to be there eating a ridiculous amount of bacon.
Okay. So, yeah, then everyone's still there when you walk back in, Wakili.
Hey, I got a better bow.
Whoa.
Oh, do you now?
Yeah, I think you might like this one, Mathias, with as pissed off as you were with our previous problem.
You mean the half price thing?
No, although I do have some news on that might also make you feel better.
I'm curious, what problem?
Well, for one thing, I doubt he would have dropped the price of that javelin or any of those items at all. He says that the half price thing doesn't count if the item will make a loss, if it's half price.
Oh. Oh, alright. I suppose that's...
So effectively, it's only half
Fine.
price if it's convenient to you.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
oldest trick in the book. Just,
I look at Pandal. Is it me or is this town full of shit?
I mean, we're in it, so yeah, definitely.
I shrug my shoulders and say, I'm just trying to give these people the benefit of the doubt. Last thing we need is Sauriv, or any of us thinking that this place deserves a second not-so-friendly visit.
I
But
wouldn't
this
do
place
that
doesn't-
anyway.
I don't think this place deserves a second visit.
But I assume you're not planning to use the bow to shoot up the town, so what does it do other than shoot normally?
It is called a sky longbow, and apparently, if I hit someone with it, it has a chance to make them fall to the ground. If they're flying, they can not fly for a little while.
Oh, that problem.
alright.
Please don't use that on me.
I'm not going to use that on you. You're my friend. Why would I attack my allies and my friends?
I don't know, some people do weird stuff sometimes.
I mean,
Mathias.
That totally was unintended. Oh god.
very well. But yeah, no. It should be useful. I also got a few arrows that allow me to teleport myself.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Like anywhere
what?
where they land, or
Where they land.
that's pretty useful. How far can you
That
shoot those
sounds
things?
awesome. Yeah.
Oh, also, Yargon. Are the wild card arrows only a one-time use?
You don't know.
Okie dokie then, cool. Thank you. And what's the save for the Skylong bow again?
DC 15 Constitution.
Alright, so now that we've got the goodies, we're gonna head off. Where are we going?
I presume we were heading towards that on the,
Are we going
Back
straight to
towards
Korea?
I thought we were going to go to that temple.
No, I don't mind.
I think that was the
Might
plan.
as well.
Yeah,
I
Corey doesn't
suppose.
stop for another. I mean, still
Yeah,
2 weeks, and then
We're still
well,
leaving
back.
early.
Out of character, Mathias, did you not say you wanted to talk to
He-
Isa?
Yeah.
I did, and I also want to know what happens at 1 o'clock. But we're not out of town yet, are we?
Yeah.
Well, if we wanna, I mean, I'm ready to go pretty much. I don't have much to carry,
Right
so.
now. I want to
mean,
know what happens at
whatever-
1 I want to know what happens at 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
let's
I
find
need-
that out first.
And I have someone I do want to talk to before we leave.
Oh, it's gonna be...
Is it gonna be that lady again?
It's absolutely going to be that lady again.
You have a crush on that lady?
Yeah, Akane, I think being pushed out of top spot here.
Oof.
I just...
I don't think
I
that
don't know what to
lady's
say
going
to
to be. I don't think that lady's going to become my student anytime soon.
So he has a thing for his students. Okay, never
That's-
take
yep.
his classes.
I mean, I'll do it. It might be fun to see where he goes with it.
I mean, but there's a difference between practical education and applying it in real life.
True. And also, Mathias, she's like thousands of years old. Can you, like, that's weird. Don't.
Mathias doesn't know how to respond anymore.
know,
Congratulations, guys, you broke Mathias.
I've spent most of my time away from people of my own species, and even I know how to handle these sorts of questions, right?
I don't think Mathias gets out much.
I don't think he
Okay.
gets out at all.
I'm not even going to bother.
Okay, glow stick. Go
Gonna-
have fun.
go- Oh my god.
Gonna credit you.
You should
4
be-
inches of
you-
extra height.
You should be back glad those drugs gave you those 4 inches back.
I'm really
Thomas,
disappointed
thought-
that you rolled a 4 and not like a 5, because then you'd be 5 inches shorter.
Oh yeah.
You know, I wonder where they got that couple of inches from to grow him. Do you think something else might have shrunk down there?
I assure you, it's bigger than ever.
I'd rather not see.
I mean, it's
You
hard
sure?
to shrink something that doesn't exist.
I guess so, yeah.
Yes, that's very true.
Ah,
Speaking
Achilles,
of Mathias'
a bit more
self-worth,
back.
are you gonna go talk to Izo?
Yes, I am going to talk to Izo and leave you guys to your ramblings. And
I
with
mean, I
that,
might
I'll
as well
get
come
up.
along. She is a druid, yes?
She's
I don't know.
something.
She's
Well,
old.
She's old, she
Also
does the
true.
magic stuff.
I've been thinking a lot lately about something. You all remember the first time I tried to talk to you all about my background, and you were all drunk, and I promptly decided yes, that was a horrible, awful idea, and proceeded to not talk about it again.
You made a
Because-
big deal about being able to fly. I didn't understand that.
I don't remember because I was drunk.
I don't remember much
The
either.
reason why I make a big deal out of me being able to fly is because of the fact that's the reason why I left my family. They ostracized me, treated me differently, and generally made me feel like it was my fault that they couldn't fly while I could. And as such, I've spent most of my life away from members of my race.
But
That makes 0 sense.
you're like, are your family? Okay, I don't mean to be like bird racist. Are your family like penguins or something? I thought like birds, that was like their thing, was they like flapped and they were swoosh and they were gone, you know?
No, it's not every one of our race is guaranteed to fly. In fact, most don't. Or at least most that I've met do.
Well, Keely, you realize that it's the children who inherit traits from their parents and not the other way around, right? It's their fault that you can fly.
Trust
Yeah,
me,
please.
Wakili, family ain't all it's hyped up to be.
Yeah, I've realized that. And
Sometimes it might be best.
another thing that I've been abstaining from that I think it's time I start accepting I need to use is, well, I didn't leave my family with nothing. They did teach me the ways of druidic magic. And
Oh, you
so,
also know magic?
I mean, I look around and I grab a cup and I cast Druidcraft on it.
What are you making happen?
I just like touch the cup and kind of just like trace around the rim, the one rim, and as I do so, you will see little branches just stick off the end of the cup and form into little leaves and flowers.
Whoa.
I'm not paying for that.
That's awesome!
You're like a branch wizard.
It's something mildly useful. I say putting it down before just kind of like chopping it off with a knife, like just cleaning it off. And then before he can complain, I cast mending on it.
Yeah, you get the wooden tank. It's pretty much back how it was. It's got a few little knobbles here and there where the branches stuck off, but you don't think anyone's going to notice. Looks pretty much good enough.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Okay, important question. So that's because that was like wood, right? You could make it grow more wood.
No, I cannot grow your dick out.
Oh, that wasn't even. I was gonna talk about fruit. Get your mind out of the gutter, Wakili. My God. But
I can make
Are
a
you
spell.
frustrated? Sexually?
He sounds like it.
who's that question directed at?
Yeah,
Wakili?
Oh, no. If I kind of
don't.
would say nothing.
considering the fact that I've probably spent most of my life away from members of my race, yeah, I might probably have some problems in that area. It would be logical to assume such a thing. But
Beside the point, pull out like a little cloth, put it over Sauriv's face, pull out the tomato.
Why do I have a cloth on my face?
Trust me, it's for your own good, friend.
Sauriv, roll me perception at disadvantage.
Okay.
Oh, no! No! No!
20. Oh.
Sauriv, you can smell the faint smell of something that's not meat, that's not ale. That smells ever so slightly like a vegetable.
I'm going to grab the whiskey, what little's left of it. I'm going to take a very small amount of it into my hand, and I'm just going to put it on my nose.
It smells like tomatoes.
Oh no!
All
You fool! You damn
Killed us all!
all you can feel is a searing pain in your nostrils from the ethanol, and then as it is burnt away, suddenly you can smell beyond anything just tomatoes.
Smash the bottle against the fucking
Okay,
people-
never mind.
Stay, I say.
Tear the cloth off my eyes. Like, who the fuck did that?
Look. If you're
thought-
asking me if
Matthias,
I
roll a
can
sleight
make
of hand.
food, if I can make food with my magic, the answer is yes.
What about food that like never rots? Bad time. Okay, sorry. It's okay.
I can make some special food that doesn't tend to. I don't know if it lasts long enough, but as long as I have a component that I need, or well, actually, let me check. No, I don't, because that's not consumed. So, I mean, here, I reach into my pouch and pull out an item that you guys might have seen me messing with before, a little totem around my neck that Wakili occasionally seems to just like touch whenever he's feeling anxious or whatnot. I can do this, I say, and I just touch my hand to the thing and cast Goodberry.
As you cast Goodberry, you feel a slight surge of magic, and off of the small totem, a little branch grows with no less than 10 small berries on it. Branch then withers, dies, and shrinks up into nothingness, and you're left with 10 small berries.
Okay, first and foremost, I minor illusion a blindfold around Sauriv's eyes.
Sauriv, the world goes dark.
Oh!
Sauriv, one question: do you get absolutely triggered by berries?
Why are my eyes gone?
Matthias is
Because
taking your
there's-
eyes. He doesn't want glowy eyes anymore. Just don't look at there's berries
Look,
in
there might
there.
be
Um,
something visible now, which might send you on a rampage. Do you go on rampages for overseeing berries?
What's a berry?
It's like a
It's a
tiny,
fruit.
tiny fruit.
I don't like fruit.
We know, buddy. We know. It's okay.
Don't like
Yeah,
fruit at all.
This
I
fruit
dis-
tastes like bacon.
Hi. If you want
Yeah,
to
you
get
should try it.
swatted- No,
You
I'm
minor
not
illusion-
against swatted.
And
Sweet,
he
it's
just
okay.
sees some small berries in Wakili's hand. He's like, "Yeah, I can make these."
Wakili, can I take one?
Sure. They won't taste like anything. They're just.
I take one and
It tastes like bacon.
I prestidigitate a bacon flavor onto them and hand it to Sauriv.
Sauriv, you are handed something that feels kind of small, slightly squishy, kind of lumpy, like it's made of lots of little bits.
What is this?
And I make it smell like bacon.
You can smell.
Um.
No, you can't smell anything, Sauriv. All you can feel is a pain in your nose. You don't smell shit.
Yeah. I snorted whiskey. What do you expect?
It's a special kind of bacon, Sauriv.
It's not.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never heard of this kind of bacon. This
We'll
is...
stop soothing Sauriv and just start walking away.
Going to slowly put it up to my mouth. Ow.
Yeah, it tastes like bacon. Like texture, it feels like some kind of like squishy berry or something, kind of like a fruit, but it tastes like bacon.
This is some very strange bacon.
I just,
I'm not sure if I like it.
I'm just gonna use my awakened mind to tell Pandal, we might have found a way for him to eat his greens.
Shake my head like this is done. I'm just gonna cast a message over to Mathias. Be like, this is not a good idea. This is the most not a good idea. This goes wrong once. We're just pieces in his stew. It's not.
This is the best idea ever.
I will accept these berries if they taste like bacon.
Well, another good thing about them is that I can just make them out of magic.
Magical bacon.
Berries. Magical bacon berries.
Magical bacon. We call it Macon for short now.
I just like facepalm at
Bacon.
that.
Macon.
All of you except
Oh
Sauriv
my-
see Wakili just facepalm.
Imagine I hear a slap.
Yeah, pretty
much.
pretty audible. It's like
well,
oh
the
god.
blindfold's
why?
already gone. I already dispelled that.
Oh right.
Oh,
Okay.
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 Okay. This is fine.
With that taken care of, perhaps we should continue on our planning.
Yes. So, to the temple, to Korea. I think it's a solid plan for now. To Izo?
Yeah, I want to go with you then.
Sure thing. No need to plan if we got a plan together. And with that, I'll get up and start off.
So, who's going to speak to Izo and who's staying here?
I'll go with him to speak to Izo.
If everyone else is going, I will go. But otherwise, no.
So,
What-
Wakili,
what you-
Mathias.
I'm just gonna
Akane.
ask Mathias, what are you going to talk to him about? Her, rather.
Oh, I am going to ask her a lot of questions.
Boring
regarding the history of
questions?
the- Oh, very boring questions. Gonna talk
Very,
magic,
okay, I'm gonna go.
history, geography.
Oh, he's such
I
a nerd.
don't know what these words mean. I'm gonna go and find someone to hit. And I'm just gonna go out.
Okay. Where are you going?
I'm finding something to hit, whether that's a training ground or
Okay. Yeah, you can
something
actually
else.
find
I don't mind.
a training ground. It's if you wander through the town for a little bit, you'll find one. It's pretty close to Blacksmith. It's just a few turns off down one of the corridors from that direction. That appears to be sort of the central area of the town. And if you sort of head off down that way, you can find one relatively easy.
And I'm just gonna start practicing with the teleportation and the nonsense.
Okay. So you're trying to get a handle on your new skills, sure.
Yeah, pretty much.
So while you're doing that, Pandal, what are you doing?
I mean, really not much.
Are you going
Looks
with
like-
them, or are you going with Sauriv?
I'm not going
or-
with. I don't need to get judged by Super Druid again. I'll just stay in the bar and drink more.
Okay, so you're just going to go get very drunk. In that case, everyone else, as you head out towards Super Druid, as she's been dubbed, Izo. Yeah, you make your way up to where you found her before, and again, she and her daughter appear to be there. Let me just pull up my NPC list.
I am 100% stepping around the flowers.
Yeah, Izo and Aski appear to both be there, working. She's definitely teaching Aski a lot of what she's doing. Like, pointing out how to do different things, and it's obvious that there's some kind of teaching going on.
Okay.
But yeah, they don't really notice you as you approach.
Oh shit, what was her name again? The other one? Please tell me I wrote down the name of the,
Izo the Swift, or Aski Roaring Swift?
ASCII.
Aski's the half-dragon.
Yes.
The
She appears to be...
thing before Unicode.
Stop yourself. It's not spelled like that. She appears to be sort of an elf, or half-elf maybe, that has sort of bits of dragon stuck to her.
Bits of dragon stuck to her. That's...
Kind of. She has like draconic wings and like scales in places, and like almost clawed hands, but not quite. And like a draconic tail and some like horns like a dragon would, but mostly half elf other than that.
Okay, sure thing. I'll just approach, saying, Iso, ASCII, good morning.
Good morning. As Aski continues to sort of go about what she was doing, and Izo turns to you. I see you've returned with your questions.
Yes, of course. Do you mind?
Very well.
Wouldn't want to interrupt you here.
It is no problem. Asky knows what she's doing. Mostly.
What is she doing? I say, looking over at her.
Simply tending to the plants.
Is she using
Okay.
druidic magic? I ask.
Yeah, they both appear to sort of...
Simply tending to the plants.
Yeah, no, she is.
Okay.
Izo seems to be slightly proud, as you notice that. Yes, I've been teaching her. That sort of...
I speak in druidic. Well, that's nice to hear.
goes off in... Asky definitely looks up at that, and Izo's like, ah. And replies in Druidic, I see you know our craft as well.
I've been avoiding it for a while now due to personal issues, but now I seek to relearn my ways.
That is terrible to hear. I would teach you, if not for my current student.
Of course.
My apologies.
No. I shake my hands visibly at that. No, that is understandable.
And I believe it would be rude to continue on in this tongue. She sort of looks over at those.
I'm sorry to interject. Are you going to keep speaking that language? Because I have a spell for that.
What language were they speaking, by the way?
Comprehend land
Druidic.
truth allows him to understand it, but
Yeah.
Does it allow me to speak it?
No, it doesn't.
I don't think so.
She... You comprehend, you do not speak.
Oh shit, then it's a literal meaning. Oh joy!
I just nod my head at that.
She turned,
Yeah, sorry about that,
she,
Mathias. Just
turned-
making sure I still have that language down.
she turns back to common. That would be rather rude of you. Not all conversations are meant for all ears. But as you say,
It's equally rude to start a conversation in a language not everyone speaks.
Well, forgive me, that one was my fault, Mathias. I wanted to make sure with someone else that could speak the tongue of druids that I haven't lost my touch as much as I had feared.
No, don't worry about it.
either way, you seek to ask me questions.
Yeah, I've got a few. And I bust my book out.
I'm gonna go sit with the the dragon, the
Ask
elf with, the dragonborn, and just be like, what are you doing?
I'm just making sure these are... She sort of makes them healthy, I suppose.
Oh.
She sort of holds one up to you. It's like a small white flower. Kind of like a lily. It's definitely potted in what appears to be very wet earth. And it's got this like long stem with a kind of a cross between a tulip and a lily, that kind of shape. And sort of holds it up to you.
How are you doing then?
Just tending to the soil, tending to the plants. We'll need them for one of the festivals later.
Mind if maybe I could watch and observe and see how you do it?
She looks sort of slightly taken aback by that, but yeah, sure. Of course.
Thanks.
She sort of goes, continues to go about what she's doing, which is pretty much just using druidcraft to carefully make sure that the plants are all well kept and looked after, and turning over the soil and all that kind of good stuff.
Keely will eventually, once he sees what she's doing, will try to help.
And she's very full for that, and she'll sort of make sure you don't do anything wrong. She'll try and guide you along, and as it becomes obvious that she knows what she's talking about somewhat more than you do.
Yeah. Keely just started being a druid again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Mathias, what did you want to say to Izo?
You said the flux has been around for as long as you remember, yes?
Yes, as far as I know.
Has it always been this powerful? To the point where you can't even cast a spell without the flux reacting to it? You can't fold 2 pieces of paper without every word on it being deformed?
You know nothing of the nature of the flux, do you?
Nothing at all.
The flux is what allows us to cast magic. The flux is the innate manner of the world. It is with the flux that our spells bend and break and turn until we twist it to our desire. That is magic. Language in itself is inherently magical. Bound by its very nature, the letters, the words. As such, that's why many spells require a verbal component. And that's why stopping someone casting a spell does not. Because all you are doing is altering or inhibiting their ability to manipulate the arcane flux.
So, all
It
these...
always has been, always is, and always will be.
So these side effects, they're merely the products of our inability to manipulate the flux properly?
The flux appears to react to how we bend it. The more we bend it, it's like ripples on a pond. You can throw a stone in to cause a splash, but the more stones you throw, the more churned up the waters become.
Huh.
If you bend the flux, it will attempt to flatten itself out, and in doing so, it may cause side effects.
So merely writing something down is already magic in and of itself?
Not quite. It is that writing is innately connected with magic, for writing contains an idea, and it is that idea that is magical. It is that idea that is the arcane.
That's gonna give me a few sleepless nights as I'm trying to figure that one out.
She sort of smirks at that. You're not the only one.
No, I imagine. Gonna have to reassess my view about magic. Right, speaking of magic, this book. I found it on one of my adventures. Long time ago. Well, long time ago. A reasonable time ago. Actually, I'd like you to have a look at it. And I'll hand her the book.
She takes the book cautiously and looks at it.
That, from what I can tell, that is the source, and I very clearly make the quotation mark, of my magical abilities.
Her expression kind of turns grim at that. Takes the book and blinks, and as she opens her eyes, you see them sort of glowing, similar to the way yours now do, in this bright green. And she looks down at it, she takes one look of it, shrinks back and throws the book. Over, and just out of the sort of cave vision. Takes a step back. What do you bring with me? And you can see, like, her expression has completely changed to something that is akin to fear, but that self-preservation nature. It's fear and anger combined. And with that, you see Aski stands up, sort of readying herself for some kind of alteration.
Just stand up and look confused.
What
Yeah,
have you
like-
brought to me?
Scurry back a bit. I'm sorry? A magical tome?
That is a magic. Beyond anything you should deal with. This is dark beyond anything.
Mathias, what did you show her?
My book?
That is the
That-
void. It draws power from the dark.
I just kind of like blink a bit, look over at Mathias and say, okay, yep.
She takes a step towards you, Mathias, grabbing you by sort of the scruff of the collar and lifting you off the floor. You can resist if you want to.
Whoa. You're asking me to resist the dragon?
If you want to.
Yeah, sure thing.
Okay. Be athletics, I guess.
Well,
To grab.
acrobatics to dodge rather.
Athletics to grab. 28. Ooh, that's just a good roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, she grabs you and lifts you effortlessly off the floor.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
What is the source of your power? This arcane magic. From where do you draw it? And where did you find this?
Could you please calm down?
Answer me!
Some crypt? Found it in some crypt?
Names, child. Give me a name.
I don't know a name, I just stumbled upon it.
You should
I'm an
not dabble with
explorer,
that you do not
adventurer.
know. And with that, she sort of throws you forwards, backwards. Roll a dexterity save to keep your balance.
Nope.
No. As she sort of throws you, you stumble backwards and fall flat on your ass.
Then how
I'd
am I
actually
supposed
like
to learn?
if it's possible, can I just like quickly like grab Mathias before he fully hits the ground and help him up?
Sure. So just
Yeah,
before
I
you... So you stumble backwards and Wakili catches you and helps you back up. And you can
Then-
see
Then
pure
how am I
anger in
supposed
her
to
eyes.
learn?
You do not dabble with that, you do not understand.
Then
You start somewhere that you can learn from. But you do not start with darkness beyond what this world knows.
I don't know what that book is myself. That's what I'm
That
trying
much
to
is
figure
more
out.
than evident.
Well, then, listen, I say, speaking up at this point.
Head
We do
snaps
not know
round
what
towards
this-
you.
We don't know what this is. Neither him, nor I, nor any of us in our party. Up until this point, we didn't know that it had any sort of foul intent, nature, or power to it. Hell, some of us didn't even know he had it until recently. And we've had no reason to suspect it to be of something of so evil or so concern. So, please do forgive me when I say, but we have no knowledge of what we have brought you. We mean no harm. We are
That
just
book.
simply...
Is evil. It draws the very nature of the arcane into it. It feeds on your power and the life force of those around you. It draws energy to the darkness.
I just like
And in
look at
return, you can
Mathias
manipulate.
over his shoulder with the what the fuck type of look.
Mathias is equally what the fuck right at this point.
Well, maybe I can keep it safe. I don't need it anyways, and then we can get it hidden away safely.
Safe. You would do far better to destroy such an item.
Akane?
Yeah. Just I can't. I can't do messages. Never mind.
Hold on. Akane take that book and put it someplace the line can't reach it.
Oh, I say, realizing what he's about to do, and say, you might. Are you about to summon it to your hand, basically?
No. Are you
Okay.
in front of the bitch who'll kill me if I do?
Yeah, that's why I was going, oh, for a second there, and
I-
asked out of character, because I was like, please tell me he's not that stupid.
Oh, he definitely is.
Oh, I'm definitely not.
Okay. Yeah, I would
I
ask.
mean,
carefully.
I'm kind of leaning with Yargon at the moment.
I would ask carefully. Yeah, would you allow me to get it for safekeeping so we can probably destroy it later?
I have no wish for such an item. Keep this foul thing from me.
I grab it and quickly put it in the bag of holding.
You've noticed your book is not affected by the flux, I suppose?
I have recently.
Yes.
Yesterday.
Then you might be quite slow. Your book is unaffected from the flux because your book manipulates the flux in of itself. It draws the arcane within it. If you could learn to manipulate it, you would become far more powerful than you care to know. But the darkness it draws is not worth it. This book
Achilles-
feeds energy from this plane to the darkness, and feeding the dark plane is never a wise decision.
Well, okay.
Could you perhaps take a look at an item for me? It's nothing like this book. I promise.
Let's focus on getting rid of this book at the moment, I say through gritted teeth. Or gritted beak, I guess.
I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that.
Yeah. You d-
What is
Yeah.
this item?
I showed what was it? Orb?
Oh, the orb.
Yeah.
Okay. You pull it out. It's a small, faintly glowing, bright white orb, about an inch in diameter. You hold it out to her, and you see she blinks. Her eyes return to their normal color, and you see the sort of the anger in her just evaporate. And she takes it and she looks at it. It has been some time since I've seen one of these. Where did you find this?
I found it in a temple only, well, basically only accessible by people of my race.
It's in a
Right, that
temple.
was something else I wanted to ask about.
I just like look at Mathias with a look of no, just no, fuck, no, 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 no,
She holds it up
no,
and
no,
she
no.
looks at it. And then, after a moment, she hands it off to Aski, who's still looking at you all very, very warily. Aski, dear, does this look genuine to you? And Aski pulls out a similar orb and holds it up. They've got... She looks at them both and sort of taps them together, and as she does, you see this brilliant bright flash of light. You all have to avert your eyes as they contact. And they sort of thrust up hands apart, as if by magnets. She does that. Then puts hers away again. Yes, it definitely appears to be... She holds it out to you.
I take it.
Um,
I was wondering what you could tell me about this item. I don't know much about it yet,
I'm
but
afraid,
it does appear to alter my physical abilities a bit.
I'm afraid not much. It is a star, from all I can tell. You need to... I don't know, honestly. I found mine a while back. They appear to change you somehow. It's a slow process, but by the end of it... Well... She sort of looks over at her wings and... Well, I grew wings, so... I don't know what you'll get.
Oh.
Yeah, I've grown some larger. My wings grew larger and got some extra eyes. Ears. Sorry.
Maybe that's it then. Either way, they are literally stars. They... Well, they fell from the sky from what Mother tells me. Many years ago, but... I don't know the specifics. At which point, sort of, Izo steps in. Yes, they... Well, it was within my lifetime, actually. The sky used to be full of them. Millions, even. Maybe more. Hundreds of thousands of dots of light. Pinpricks was what they looked like in the night sky. And then, one day, same day the moon shattered, they fell from the sky. I don't know what happened, but the moon cracked, exploded, if you were, shattered into pieces, and as it did so, the stars began to rain down. It was like some fire from the heavens. They fell to the earth like stars, shooting stars, I suppose. I don't really know. There was an awful lot of people died that day. Death, destruction. It took many years for the
Okay.
cities to rebuild, and I believe that there may have been even one of the... Yes, even one of the ancient trains was destroyed by them. By that. non-functional, but it was more than destroyed. It was the one near Vodna.
Okay,
They
that's
appear to
pretty
be magical in
interesting.
nature, far beyond anything. They don't appear to be connected to the arcane flux, which is the curious thing about them. It's where the flux is mana, these appear to be something else. If
I
you
look at
will,
it a bit curiously.
it is the opposite to your friend's book. It is the light to his dark. They are,
Mm.
from everything I've learned, connected intrinsically to the plane of light.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, thank you for that information.
When did the moon shatter?
Well, that was... I think I was still quite young back then. It was about 3,300 years ago, I think.
I was only 999 years old.
124 actually, but
That was out of character, sorry. I don't know.
you said it in character whilst talking to a person.
Yeah, it's a bit meta, this.
Still.
Oh yeah, out of character, but yeah.
Yes, I know.
I guess I should do it in chat.
Yeah. 3,300 years ago. Is there anything else that I can help you with? Is that it? Do you have more? Do you have more
That was it for
questions?
me.
Yeah, she looks over at who else is there? Oh no, it's just Wakili, innit? She looks
Yeah.
over at Wakili. Is there anything you'd like to ask?
I just shake my head slowly, and just I'm still kind of like, from earlier.
Very well then. Well, I suppose good day to you. She sort of turns back to her.
Thank you.
Good day to you too, and thanks for the warning.
Be careful with that. The more you use it, the more dangerous it will become to you and your friends.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna take a lesson from Sauriv on this one and go get a drink, I say, starting to walk away. Let's go, guys. Come on. Bye. We'll see you later, I guess, at the festival. Bye. Bye.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm smart,
I
see? I
know how to do it. Go. Sorry, English is hard sometimes. I follow Wakili while dragging along
Yeah.
Mathias.
I'm following along as well.
Aski sort of waves to you as Izo turns back to work, and then, yeah, as you leave. So you're all heading back to the tavern?
I'm so glad you didn't make
Yes.
us roll deception.
Not before Wakili just stops and goes, "Holy fuck, what did you..."
Matthias, do you
I
pick up the
don't-
book on the way? Just
I
like
don't
halfway
have-
down the steps.
A single clue what the hell that was all about.
Oh, whatever it was. Holy hell, don't do that again, please.
Well, apparently books evil, orbs good.
I mean, it seems abstract, but at the moment, let's not piss off the thousands of year old druid. Hell, I thought most druids went insane at this age, I say, just like looking over in her direction.
I mean, when she saw this book, she looked pretty insane.
That is correct. Most of
Yeah.
them do go insane.
Here's the thing, I still don't understand fuck about it. That's the real problem.
One, yes. Two, Do you really want to fucking learn about this thing after realizing what the fuck it is?
Oh yeah.
GM's greatest goal:
God.
turn one of his characters into the bad guy.
God damn it! I say, just like breathing out, sighing very
Well, then maybe
exacerbated.
I can figure some way out to do something about it.
No, I know where you're trying to go with this. Still. Holy fuck.
I'm not gonna admit to her face. Gee, if I was certain I could have had Akane destroyed, I would have. If I was certain that I could have the book destroyed, Akane, then I would have asked you to do it.
I know. I
Well,
guess.
it's time to do what we want. Yeah, let's go find the rest of the group and get beers, shall we?
Yeah,
Or
I hand
something.
this book back.
So
While
I
we're
guess
out
I
of
missed
sight.
a lot.
Oh
Yeah.
We nearly got
Insane
time to be
super druid.
killed for
I
like
pissed off the druid.
yeah, the most powerful
Well done.
NPC we know of at the moment.
It's funny because
All
she's
out
actually...
was like thinking about just decking us on the side there.
So, I think, is here a good place to take a break?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll take our break here, and we'll be back shortly. Catch you in the
Bloody
next one.
hell.